guys, welcome back to our practice assignment series. Today we're going to be talking about PA number 13, our special wrench, which is our last drawing in our packet. As far as like assignments go, if you take a look, I'll scroll down here a little bit. The last one is our name benchmark. I don't really want to put that out right away. I might wait a couple months and come back to do this. I use this in my class as like a final. And if you've gone through all 13 drawings, you should be able to do this packet final with no extra assistance. So there's some things to hang up on. If you're a teacher and you're like, absolutely, I want to learn this, or if you're trying to teach yourself, self-taught, whatever, and you want a how-to on this, leave me a comment on this video and let me know that, hey, MesaMakes, Mr. Mesa, we really want that benchmark number 1 drawing or tutorial on how to do that. So I think I'm gonna skip off on it for now. If there's enough people that want it, I will go ahead and make that happen. But so let's get back here and let's look at what we're talking about today. So today we're gonna be talking about PA number 13, the special wrench. And let me get that organized. Like the way I always do, we want to make sure we look at our tools that we need for today. So zooming down here, center point circle. This is the polygon icon, and again, it says sketch fillet. I tried to fit them all in here, and I think that's where my issue came from last week. But we are going to need to be able to draw a polygon. We're also going to need to use that sketch fillet tool. You can kind of see that radius right here. We'll talk about that in a second. The dimension, the line, the trim, and the tangent. Honestly, all of these here, and I didn't throw the rectangle in there either because there was just not enough room in the box. But we're pretty much going to draw everything using these tools today. I could probably throw out the line, but I think when I put that there, my thought process was getting people to understand these construction lines and the like symmetry lines. So that's where that thought process was coming from. Follow me up to the top and you'll see our question we need to go over today. So our answer that we need to come up with is, what is the total area of the shape without the center shape? So that hexagon that we're going to draw in the center, what is it going to be? What's the area of this shaded region going to be without this inside piece? So we will show you how to do that. While we're here, let's take a look at a game plan. So it looks like our overall piece is going to be, try to keep that from moving on us, 6 inches side to side. We have a circle with a diameter of 4 inches. You'll see up here. Everything's centralized off of that center point, which we're going to use as our origin. We have a 2.5 inch diameter circle inscribed inside of that polygon with our point up, and our outer bases looks like 1 + 1 is 2, so it'll be 2 tall. I'm going to draw a rectangle there, and then that rectangle needs to be 3 to the left, which makes sense because it's to the center point, and the overall piece is going to be 6. So let's switch back into Onshape and let's get started. So like always, let's start with a sketch. So let's click our top plane. I'm going to press Shift and S to start that sketch, N to normalize, and P to hide those planes. First thing, like I said, we wanted to do is, let me pull that back up. There we go. Start with our circle. So we have a 4-inch circle. We'll start in the center, C on the keyboard, and 4, enter. That'll get us where we need to be there. From there, we're going to come up here to the top, and we're going to pick, where is my polygon? There we go. Click our drop down. I want an inscribed polygon, so the circle inscribed inside. So I'm going to click my origin and I'm going to go straight up. If I go up, you'll see I get this, my top is going to be flat, but in our drawing we need our side to be flat, so we have a point standing up. If you were to actually fabricate this part, it might not matter too much, because again, it's a wrench, so you would be using it in a specific side. But just for sake of what we're trying to do today to match, make sure that when you go out to the side, you see that little, you zoom in, you'll see that horizontal constraint that decides to pop up. We'll go ahead and click OK. We're going to click again for 6 sides, and that needs to have a diameter of 2.5. So we'll type that in, press enter, and now this is where we will start with a rectangle. So I'm going to do the R for a center point rectangle, and again you see that lives up here in that drop down, not the first one but the second one, center point rectangle. And I'm going to click my center point and I'm going to drag out and just kind of give it an idea, and it pops in and it's asking me for my length on this. So my length needs to be 6 and my height needs to be 1 plus 1, which is 2. So we'll type in 2, and you'll see that, let me switch back to that drawing. A lot of times people put 1 because they see this as, oh yeah, 1, okay, 1 to the center. Well, it is 1 to the center, but it's 1 to the center and then 1 from the center, giving us a total of 2. We'll switch back to our first tab, and you'll see if I change that to 1, it doesn't quite look like what we were going for. And so I try to set this packet up in a way to where you'll see some visual cues and you'll see some issues that you'll run into. Okay, so let's undo that, change that back to 2. And some of you guys might be, oh, let's go here, let's start extruding this, right? Let's turn this into a 3D model, and that's cool, right? Maybe you want to go find your area right now. You can do it, but it's not going to give you the correct answer, because what we need to do now is we need to actually throw fillets in here. Now this is where it's a pretty easy project, but it's one of those that is going to screw with your head a little bit. We need to get a fillet here in this corner, but if I just go straight Shift F and I click these 2 lines, it's going to tell me that it can't add a sketch fillet if you see that's up top. The reason is because what we need to do first is come in with the trim tool and we need to cut these lines out. We can get rid of that one in the middle, we can get rid of there too, because what it's trying to do is it says, well, which side needs to be rounded? Well, how can it figure that out if there's not an actual corner? I know all of you guys in the 3D CAD world are like, why wouldn't you just make it 3D and then throw the fillet on there afterwards? You're right, but this is a 2D packet and this is kind of what we do, and so this is how I would go about doing that. So now once we have our corners trimmed, we'll go ahead and press Shift F, bring up that fillet tool, and if you don't like the keyboard shortcuts, no big deal, that lives up here. And if it's not showing, it's because you might have used chamfer at some point, or you're zoomed in too far, or not enough, or whatever, but it lives here under this drop down. Chamfer, fillet, kind of the same thing, but I like the shortcut keys. So we'll come down here and we'll click that corner, swap back over to our drawing real quick, and you'll see that we need to have a radius of 1. So let's go ahead and click that. We'll click this bottom one down here. We'll click this one as well, come back up to the top, and now we'll accept it. It's going to ask me, it's going to turn into a text box. We said we need a radius of 1. I'll type 1, enter, and if we zoom out, you will see that our shape is now what we desire. So I'm going to change a couple of things because we are now ready to find our answer. Okay, so let me change this to 3. It's gonna break it. It doesn't like it. Let's make this 3, not 30. Got fat fingers today. Not 30. 3. There we go. Let's make this a radius of 2, and let's make that overall 6. We'll go 5. 6 might be a little too big. Let's go 4.5. There we go. Still kind of gives us the same general shape, but it's obviously not the proportions we're looking for. So what I need to do now is once everything's trimmed up and cleaned up, I can just click one time, and that's what I'm talking about when I ask about this question over here, is what is the total area of the shape without that center shape? That's what I'm talking about. This is what I need it to look like. How do I find my answer? I come down here to the bottom. Right here I have 11.89 .99, which again is the complete wrong answer. Get the dimensions that I showed you how to draw, follow the packet, do it exactly, and then type that in, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is delete all of this, and I'm gonna show you another way to kind of draw this, okay? I showed you with the rectangle and the circles, but again, let's say maybe you're kind of more on the basic side, and you're doing this packet out of order, or you just wanna challenge yourself to learn a new way, whatever, however you wanna do this, you can kind of do this with just lines. So game plan for this one, I'm gonna show off the line arc line tool, and we're gonna try to draw just this quadrant and see what we can come up with. We will end up having to draw the whole polygon, because I don't want to. I mean, I guess I could do that with some lines and some dimensions. But what we'll do is kind of show some of the extra things you can do in Onshape. So we're going to start with this as our origin. Now is going to go up one. We're going to go over. We're going to add a radius. Then we're going to add another radius, and we're going to stop. Then we're going to add some dimensions, see if we can flip it over, and then go from there. Okay. So start with that 1 inch line. We're going to click our origin, and we're going to go up vertically 1 inch. We're going to go out to the right, and we need a horizontal line, but I didn't give you that measurement. So what we're going to do is just click off to the right and not type in a number, but also don't press enter, because whatever number happens to be there is the number that it's going to make that dimension. So instead of just drawing another line, what we're going to do is come and bring our mouse and touch this point, and you'll see that it changes and it turns into an arc. Some of you guys have probably done this before on accident. You're moving around and you're like, why the heck I didn't pick that? And then you press escape and you go back into the line tool. This is really good for quick workflows. So if you want to try to get faster and try to get better, this is the way to do it. So we'll go ahead and click and see it says R.0703, or sorry, R.703. If we look back at tab 2, you will see that we need a radius of 1. So we'll make that 1 inch, and then we'll do another up top. But this time we need a radius of 2 because the diameter of our piece is 4. And so now if we zoom out, you will see we have this kind of funky looking shape. So next step, we're going to draw a line from my origin. I'm going to press Q to make it a construction line, just so we have some room there. Next, we're going to tell that line that it has to be 3 inches long, because if we look back at our other deal, our line up here is 3 inches from this left side to the center, and also 3 is half of 6, which is our overall shape. So now what we can do is tell it that, hey, I need this point and this point to be coincide with one another. So we'll press I, and then we'll say I need this line, or this point and this point, to be vertical to one another. And so now you'll see we get this nice curved shape like this. Our next thing we're going to do is we're going to go here, and just to double check, we're going to make a construction line by pressing Q, and you'll see that we have that correct dimension. So I'm just going to press escape, because I don't want to actually press that 2 on the enter. It's going to mess it up and it's going to turn it all red. Okay, so now for our next step, we are going to take the mirror tool. So if we follow me up here to the top, we'll click mirror, and it doesn't matter which way we go first, but either way, pick a mirror line. So let's do this one first, and I'm going to select all of this, and you'll see it'll fold over that way. We're going to come back up to the top, we'll shut off our mirror, turn our mirror back on. Again, it's going to ask us to pick another mirror line, and this time we'll mirror it over this, and we want to select all of this to now mirror over that way. So press escape to drop that mirror tool, and this is the point where we would go and draw that polygon. However, what we can do is draw this a little bit different. So I'm going to draw up here, I'm going to draw a line, and then I'm going to draw a line. And I could keep going, but it's not going to make the best hexagon in the world. I didn't give the measurement here, but what I did do, again, we can use that mirror tool, and I can mirror that quadrant. Let's move that back up. There we go. I can mirror over this line. I can mirror both of those. These two lines right there. We'll escape. Come back up. We'll mirror again. I'll click this line this time, and this time I want to mirror all of this. So you'll see I get a hexagon. Now, still not right. So what we need to do is give it a dimension. Hey, from here to here needs to be 2.5. Hey, also from here to here needs to be 2.5. Oh yeah, and this from here to here also needs to be 2.5. And you'll see that it's all there. The problem is it's not fully defined. So now I'd have to go in and start giving it some angles. So the angle from here to here, if we were to do this math, it's supposed to be 120. And you'll see now it's fully defined because it's fixed at. Now where did I get that 120 from? If we take a circle and I draw it about here, if I were to split this into thirds, a full circle is 360, and that's a third of that circle, which is 120. So each of these is 120. Now some of you guys are probably like, well, why isn't it 60? Shouldn't 360 divided by 6, shouldn't that be 60? You're right, but in order to do that, what I would need to do is click here and here, and then I'd have to put that measurement in that spot right there instead of on that inside. So whatever works for you, however you want to do it. I mean, I guess too, if you really wanted to, you could pick both lines and then you could come out here and write 240 if you really wanted to, but however you want to do it, but it just needs to be defined. So to make it easy, we'll go here, here, and we'll say 60, and now we are fully defined, and there is our shape. So a couple of things: if your shape's kind of getting wonky, make sure that this and this are tangent to one another by pressing T. Make sure this is tangented to that. Kind of clean up your stuff a little bit. Come in with your dimension tool, and we could say, hey, you know, this I know for a fact is supposed to be 2 on paper. Oh yeah, cool, it is. And this is supposed to be 4. Okay, we're good there. This is supposed to be 6 from side to side. So let's click there, and we'll click here, and yeah, we're good there too. So notice they all turn gray. It's because we've already given it something that establishes what that size should be. You can also tangent to that point right there, and it's not going to let me do it. Yeah, it's going to break it. So it's already constrained the way you need it. It just looks kind of funky because of the way there's so many dimensions in there, right? But what we noticed is doing this hexagon like that, that's going to give you like 12 or 13 clicks, where if you just do the polygon tool, you're going to get it done in 5, I think, about 5 clicks. So that's going to do it for us for this practice assignment, drawing and packet. We've gone through 13 drawings, and hopefully you guys have learned something throughout. But I'm going to switch over to a real camera, and I got some news I want to talk to you guys about really quick. So, hey guys, thanks for sticking through this packet. I respect the grind, and I know it only makes us all better. After pouring hundreds of hours into Onshape, dialing in every fillet, chamfer, and sketch, I'm psyched to test my skills as the number 7 seed and the only U.S. contender in the 2025 Variety CAD Tournament, live this Friday on Too Tall Toby's channel. So here's the plan. Head on over to Too Tall Toby's channel, hit subscribe, and drop a like to show him some love. He's helped us out a lot, so let's help him out. Tune in live and watch me put those Onshape hours to the ultimate test against world-class competitors. And pack that chat with MesaMakes energy. Just say hi and send the good vibes. Let me know that you're watching. Maybe if you're one of my students or somebody who's been in one of my classes, adult classes, teacher trainings, whatever, give me a shout out, say hi. Your support, your view, every like, and those MesaMakes vibes fuels my CAD fire. Let's rally behind Team USA and make some American CAD history together. See you Friday on Too Tall Toby's channel. See you later, guys. Take care.